Welcome back, everyone. This week I'm working on a small segmented bowl. I have been working on using leftover wood for my last few projects. I'm trying to see how much I can get through before I have to start buying anything else. I ended up having leftover walnut cherry, and I'm going to say it's maple, but it's leftover pallet wood. Here's a picture of the piece that I made with this pallet wood. I'll leave a link below if you're interested in seeing the video in which this bowl was made. So I think I'm going to use this cherry leftovers from the last thing I did to make the base for the piece we're working on today. And let me swing around and show you what we've got going on so far. You see me chop up everything into the segments. And there's all the segments right there. 15 segments, 11 rows. Is that 165 segments? Plus however much the base is. And we're getting ready to sand all of these next. This total sanding took about 30 minutes, and adding this drum sander into my shop has been a huge time saver for flattening rings and getting everything to the same thickness. Ring glue up time. Question for you guys, if you're wood turners and you're watching this, what kind of base do you use? I typically do a solid wood base. I've heard folks talk about doing a floating base because they're concerned about expansion and contraction and cracking their segmented piece. I'm not like a 30-year wood turner or anything like that. I'm basically a 2-year wood turner. And in the 2 years I've been doing it, maybe 2.5, I haven't had any splits or problems with expansion and contraction. Maybe I've just been lucky. But what are your thoughts? Do you guys use solid bases, floating bases? Does it make a difference? How much wood movement do you actually see in segmented pieces? I'm not talking, I know big pieces of wood move. I'm not arguing there's no such thing as wood movement. I'm just curious what your experience has been with wood movement and with segmented bowls. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'd appreciate it. I'm gonna get started here, sitting at about 1100 RPM. That puts a nice finish on. That is the Carter & Sons half-inch bowl gouge. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get anything for it. I just think this is a great tool. Keeps its edge. This outside looks friggin' phenomenal. Some light sanding, but this thing just leaves such a nice finish. All I really gotta do is probably hit it 220, 320 and some sanding paste. And this is done on the outside. Well, this is gonna be kind of meh. I forgot to hit record to do the whole inside of that bowl. So you guys get to watch me do a touch-up, and I apologize. But here we go. So Kent over at Turn of Wood Bowl recommends just taking down the high points instead of trying to do the whole thing on the inside of a bowl because you can't really see it well from the angles. And I find that to be very positive. If you guys haven't checked out Kent at turnofwoodbowl.com, he's got a great channel. He's probably forgotten more than I'll ever know. I like that. I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. And I'll finish it tomorrow. I want to do some colored staining on this, sand it, part it off, and we'll be done. Well, it's been a few days since I've been in the shop. I want to refine this final shape here, then get this taped, get the walnut taped off so I can play with some of the color on this maple. And then after that, I'll part this off, probably about, take it down to about that thick. And be just about done with it. Turning at about 1100 RPM. Half-inch bowl gouge and Carter inside. I'm gonna stain this open stuff with this gel stain right here. This is Voodoo Gel Stain by Dixie Belle, and the color is Temptress. wipe this off, and then I'm gonna let it dry for a few hours. You can use like a, if you're in a hurry, you can use like a heat gun and dry it quicker, but I'm in no hurry, so I'll just let this dry naturally here. And then I'll come back. It'll probably raise the grain, so I'll do a light sanding with like 300 or something like that. Take the whole thing up to 400, and then we'll use paste from Axe. All right, so we're gonna take all this tape off. Have to do some sanding because some of the stain got underneath the tape, but that's okay, we can do that. Some hand sanding, lift that right out. And like I thought, the stain did lift the grain a bit, but with having some bleed through, we'll have to sand the whole thing in. Got this spinning at about 300 RPM. This is 220 sandpaper. Finish this off with Axe abrasive paste and Axe restoring wax. I have a discount code for you if you want to get it. It's Morrow15. I'll put it up on the screen, and I will put the link down below to their shop. Looking pretty snazzy. And there's the wax. Curious how you guys finish your bowls. I typically use this. I've used Tried and True. I've used the General Finishes, wood bowl finish. I've left some raw just because I like the way they looked. And it was a nice white maple. I did it. It's a few different pieces of wood. When I earned my black belt in martial arts, I made a bowl out of all the wood that I broke over the years to earn that, my black belt. I'll put a picture of it. I didn't actually film that one. But I'll throw a picture of it in here so you guys can see it. Was a fun bowl. And I did not put a finish on there because I liked the way the maple looked. Just pure white, because as soon as you put a stain on it, it kind of darkens. Or not a stain, but any kind of these finishes. I've got this on a jam chuck spinning at about 550 RPM. Just gonna make sure that the bottom is slightly concave so when it sits, so I gotta take it down a little bit here and here, but the center has got a nice concave shape to it. All finished up. Ended up being 10 segments, not 11. I didn't like the shape of the top. As I said, cherry base. Called this maple throughout, but it's palette. This is walnut. I stained the light there with the light blue. That's the Temptress Voodoo Stain from Dixie Belle. Take a look at the inside. I think it turned out awesome. It's about 6.5 inches wide, just under 4 inches tall. I'd appreciate it if you guys, if you stuck around this far to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Give me a thumbs down if you don't. Give me your thoughts. Either way, positive, negative, all of the above. I'd like to hear what you guys are thinking. Thank you and have a great rest of the week.